G'day there guys, it's your boy I Read Reddit, back at it again with more Entitled Parents stories. Now if you've ever tried to be Tony Hawk Pro Skater, then this is the perfect episode for you. Sit back, relax and enjoy the show fellas and Sheilas. I think you're gonna go wild. So our first story was posted by user genericteenagename, titled, Entitled Mum Tries to Steal My Longboard While I'm Riding It. Quick backstory. I got a longboard for my birthday in 2017. It is awesome and kind of expensive. I custom built it. I ride it anywhere I can. So one day I was riding it to work. My work uniform consists of a hat, so you can see where I work without seeing my shirt. Then this happened. You know the cast at this point, so I won't bother to explain it. The entitled kid comes up to me and says, "Hey, I like your skateboard a lot." "Yeah, got it for my birthday, built it myself. Can I try it?" Now, I'm normally good with little kids, but I don't like kids touching my stuff. Also, little kid plus longboard and street equals mega disaster. Sorry kid, I don't like people touching my stuff, and also, it could be dangerous because you're too young. This is when the entitled mum jumps in. You would actually never expect her to be an entitled mother. No Karen haircut, not overweight, not a soccer mum. "Oh, come on, just let him ride, it's fine." "I'm sorry, I'm just not comfortable letting him touch my stuff, that's all." "I'm an adult, you have to listen to me. Give it to me now, entitled kid wants it." "No, it's not happening, goodbye." "Give me that, kid. You have to listen to adults, by law, I'll call the cops." "Try me." I proceed to start riding away when the lady grabs my fudging longboard and pulls it out from underneath my feet. I trip and she starts to walk away. I get up and see the entitled kid starting to ride it. I step in front of him, push him off, and grab my board. "You little bench! I see your hat! I'm gonna get you fired!" "Try it, I'm off the clock. My manager doesn't give a crap what I do off the clock. So go ahead mate, call." She proceeds to actually call and tell me that I'm fired. I go and talk to my manager, and she said she lied to the woman just to get her to frick off. My manager is a legend. Anyways, thanks for reading. Short and sweet, that one. Edit. I made the longboard and got it for my birthday. In that, there was a shop that custom makes the boards. Like you choose parts and build it from the ground up, and the people who work there assemble it. But you choose the parts. Sorry, should have been more clear. Our next story is a continuation of the last one, posted by user genericteenagename, titled, The Beast Returns, Longboard Entitled Mother Part 2. Okay, new story. So like many people said, it would be awesome if I met this woman again while at work. I promised to post about it if it happened, and so I have. I was just standing at the register during a lunch rush when the entitled mother and the entitled kid walk in. We all know where this is going. The entitled mother sees me, and her face swells with rage, and she storms to the front of the line. You were fired! Your manager told me so!" "Excuse me, who are you?" I'd forgotten at this point. "You took the longboard my baby wanted, so I called and got you fired, remember? Why are you still here?" "Miss, my manager cannot fire me for what I do off the clock. When I'm off the clock, I'm off company time, so she has no control over me." "But I wanted you fired, and that manager lady said you were. What happened to the customer's always right. I want you fired this instant." M, my cool manager, enters the scene and says, "I said I fired him to get your crazy ass to leave my employee alone. I'll not fire my employee due to your entitled bench mindset. And please get the frick out of my restaurant right now." "I will call corporate. The customer is always right. I will get this little crap and you fired." "Good luck with that, crap. Get the frick out." "Not until I get free food for compensation for this terrible treatment." I will say this once and only once. Get the frick out, you dumb bitch. I will call the cops. I say to her, she's not joking by the way, I would get out if I was you. "I cannot believe this. You benches can kiss your job goodbye." She stormed out, and the people were booing as she were left. When she got out of the store, People cheered for my manager. I got a small raise and a free sandwich that day. It was a good day. Thanks for reading and for the karma. Hope everyone enjoyed part 2. Our next story was posted by user Kuma from ARG, titled, "How Dare You Poison My Darling Angel?" or How I Learned to Avoid Involving Myself with Dietary Opinions. So I used to work at Subway, fast food centered on long sandwiches for those who don't know, and I was relatively good at my job. The official position they give you is sandwich artisan, which sounds way cooler than the actual job. The store was situated on the food court of a shopping mall, and it was pretty much empty most of the day, as there was a bigger and cooler shopping mall 10 blocks away. Most of the time, I enjoyed the small talk with customers while working and making subs. One day, around the beginning of my shift, a woman with her daughter arrived at the front of the store and wanted to get their food, the entitled mother and the nice daughter. The entitled mother was really fat, almost twice my width and kind of mushy in the middle. She had really short hair, dyed blue and bright, almost neon pink lipstick, and looked as if she'd gotten her makeup applied by Homer Simpson's makeup shotgun. That's a good one. The nice daughter was only slightly chubby and had long hair and regular makeup. The mother went to look for a table. I don't know why, as the food court was more deserted than a movie theater showing 24/7 Battlefield Earth. And the daughter was the first to order. She had a BLT with extra cheese. The entitled mother arrived later and asked for one of the most grossly baroque subs I'd ever had the displeasure to serve. She basically asked for almost every meat item on the menu to be added, to the point that I couldn't physically close the foot long. It was a thing of horror and dread, and the mere thought of her eating it got me dry heaving inside my head. Shivers ran down my spine as I placed it on a tray, as the thing was quite hefty and I was afraid that she might drop it and blame us. She paid for it, which was really expensive, and took the tray while checking the ticket. I thought I avoided a landmine until she returned with the tray in hand and a glare that could melt the cheap cheddar cheese on her sub.
"What is this?"
she asked, absolutely angered, while shaking her daughter's sub. I didn't know what to answer, and I didn't even have time as her tirade continued.
"What the freak is this?"
the entitled mum kept asking, shaking the sub to put emphasis on her words. "It's your daughter's sub?" I replied. Oh, first strike.
"This has meat on it. My daughter is a vegetarian, you butthead."
Her banshee wails echoed around the empty food court, with people from other stores leaning out of their counters to see what the heck was going on. The nice daughter was embarrassed and tried to talk to her mother. "But Mom, I'm not a Her mother glared at her and turned on me.
"You need to make sure it's a vegetarian sub and refund my money,"
she shouted at me. Her chubby fingers were pressing the sub so much, as if she were attempting to get the last bit of toothpaste out of the tube. "Miss, your daughter asked for this sub and I attempted again to explain. Second strike.
"You don't get to tell me what my daughter said,"
she angrily shouted, her face going from red into scarlet, much less like a human and more towards the Brock Lesnar range of red.
"How is she going to lose weight if you give her a sub with bacon?"
And here, my friends, is when I swung to the fences and got the third and worst strike. After she shouted that, there was a moment of silence, and I couldn't avoid looking at her, from top to bottom, and then I let out a small chuckle. I shouldn't have done that. The entitled mother grabbed me by the apron and shook me. I'm mushy in the middle, but kinda big, because I played rugby, so I didn't move much. But that was more than enough for the security guard to intervene. He'd been watching from afar in amusement, as was half the food court. The woman was clawing the air towards me and shouting insults while she was dragged away. The poor security guy had to call for help, or maybe Greenpeace to help him tow his whale away. The daughter apologized for her mother and followed the guard. My manager didn't come out during the whole thing, She was hiding in the back because she couldn't stop laughing at the woman. The moral of the story: don't get yourself involved in the dietary needs of others, especially if those needs are mandated by a walking bowl of lard. Jabba the Hutt. Our last story today was posted by user Vrpndt, titled, "Entitled Mother Thinks That She and Her Brat Can Just Take My House. Blah blah blah, I'm on mobile, yada yada yada, English is my first language, and that's it guys. Also, I'm in England, so yeah, no backstory needed, because I was literally just in my house. Our cast are me, a melted egg, entitled mother, entitled mummy, EK, entitled kid. Story time. So, I'm playing video games in my room when I hear a very loud knock on the door. Obviously, I go and open the door to find what looked like a nice lady, but oh boy, she was not. So the conversation went like this. "Hello ma'am, can I help ya?" "Yes, I was looking at your house. It's very big. Very, very big actually." I'm confused as to where this is going, so I say, "Oh, thank you. It's She cuts me off and goes, "How much for it, eh?" I'm more confused now, so I say, "Excuse me? How about £100,000, eh? We can shake on it right here." Keep in mind my house wasn't too big, but it was quite big. Also, according to my dad, who was away at the time, it was worth around £400,000. But that was just his judgment. "Sorry, you must be mistaken. This house isn't for sale. Although I'm sure you can find some houses like this in the area." "I know, but I want the house. So, £90,000. What do you say?" "Sorry, but I'm not interested in selling the house." Then this is where the entitled kid, who was around 5 I think, comes into play. "Mommy, can I play yet?" I was thinking, play with what, the house? How does that work? The entitled mum goes to the kid, "Yes dear, Mommy's sorting it out." To me, she turns and goes, "Well, thanks for the house." Then she tried to walk in. I immediately block her. "Ma'am, this is my house, and I'm asking you to leave." "Just give me the fudging house. You don't even need all the space. I have a kid. You're just a loner." "I'll ask you one more time, ma'am. Please leave before I call the coppers." This is where she becomes racist towards me. I was born in England, but come from Asian origins, so as a result I'm brown. "It's because I'm white, isn't it?" "No, it's because this is my house." "Mommy, let me play!" So she says to the kid, "Of course, just let Mommy handle this." "Let me into the house now!" She then tried pushing past me, but I held my ground. "I'm calling the police!" And she stormed off, cursing at me until she was out of sight, calling me things like racist and a chink. I have no clue what she would have told the police, and I haven't heard from her since. Sorry that there's no big arrest or the police actually being involved, but this was my only encounter with an entitled parent. Thanks for reading.